Before I start this video, guys, I just want to say check out the link below for the Day of Silence. Today, the 20th of April, Friday the 20th of April, is the Day of Silence. It is an activism day to raise awareness for abuse and violence against members of the LGBT community. So, check it out, be a part of that. So, the question I decided to tackle today was, is it okay to hide your sexuality? And then I thought, that's a pretty poor way of phrasing that question, because like is a subjective term. Okay is a subjective term. And to ask, is it okay, is to ask your subjective opinion. But I thought I'd make it a bit more objective and say, are there situations where you should hide your sexuality? Are there situations where you should lie about being gay or bisexual or transgender or intersexual? And the answer, as much as a lot of hardcore activists would disagree with me, is yes. There are absolutely 100% certain situations where you should hide your sexuality. And that's a really tough thing to experience. But I think anyone who's been out and about in the world without being out and about, clever use of puns there, will understand that there are certain situations that call for a level of pragmatism when it comes to openness about your sexuality. I mean, there are pretty clear examples. If you are overseas in a highly religious country where homosexuality is both condemned and illegal, then yeah, don't be open about it. If you're going through places like, I don't know, in America, I'm guessing states like Texas or West Virginia where being gay is illegal or wrong, don't be open about your sexuality. There are even some more subtle examples of times. Certain places, for example, I live in Sydney, which has a huge concentration of gay people. But there are definitely certain areas where you wouldn't want to be open about your sexuality. There are certain geographic locations and, I guess, cultural hangouts where people wouldn't want to be open about their alternative gender or their alternative sexuality. Certain clubs, certain streets within the city, because it does attract a certain kind of person, and a lot of the times these people are rarely open to the idea of alternative sexuality. And the thing is, I make no, like, I'm not pretending here. I know that it shouldn't be this way. From a completely optimistic point of view, it shouldn't be this way at all. No one should ever have to hide who they are. No one should ever have to try and shy away from being 100% who they are on the inside and the outside. I mean, you shouldn't hide your race, you shouldn't hide your cultural origin, you shouldn't hide your sexuality. But sometimes you have to. This world can be an incredibly violent, incredibly abusive place at the best of times. And anyone who has ever encountered homophobia knows that things would be better if sometimes we were less open about who we are. And it's not a nice thing to know, and it's definitely not reassuring to understand that fact. I mean, don't get me wrong, things are always getting better every single day. How people behave and react in terms of the LGBT community and gays and lesbians and everything, it's getting better. At least in the Western world, it's definitely getting better day by day. People are becoming more open, more reasonable, more rational. But as certain types of people are getting more reasonable, then you're getting certain types of people who are upping the ante on their homophobic behaviour. And if you can ever save yourself from the abuse and from the violence by lying about your sexuality or hiding it in a certain way, whether it's physical or emotional, sometimes it's really best to do that. And that's the way it is for all gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender people around. That's part of life. And it's a really shitty, sucky part of life, but sometimes you have to. In the meantime, anyone who cares will keep fighting for the right not to have to do that, for the right to live and to speak and to behave any way we want. But until then, sometimes we have to be careful. Because it's not a matter of the world being forgiving, it's a matter of the world being open to that idea in the first place. So you've got to be careful. If you feel safe, then be open. Be free. Behave in any way you want to. But in certain situations, don't. Because it could be the worst mistake you ever make. That's about it, guys. That's my overview of that question. Sorry to be a bit of a downer there, but yeah, do us a favor, if you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe to this channel. Also, guys, send us questions, comments, ideas for topics, things that you, as a member of the gay or lesbian community, or even just a straight person, would like to know about life with an alternative sexuality or alternative gender. So, hit us up, guys, subscribe to us, like this video, and we've got more videos coming throughout the week. Don't forget to check out the Day of Silence as well. Thanks, guys.